Hey, can Luffy fight Kizaru without using Gear 5? It would be very difficult, but he could potentially hold his own and pose a significant challenge to Kizaru, especially with Luffy's current Haki proficiency after the Wano arc. However, the chance of victory is very low without using Gear 5's biggest weaknesses. Without Gear 5 Kizaru's speed of light, this is the biggest barrier. Even though Gear 4 especially Snake Man, is very fast and unpredictable, it still can't compare to the speed of light. Luffy would have a very hard time dodging and catching up to Kizaru. Gear 4's stamina. Gear 4 consumes a lot of stamina and has a time limit. Facing a strong and fast opponent like Kizaru would exhaust Luffy very quickly. Weapons Luffy can use, besides Gear 5, Advanced Observation, Haki, Future Sight. This is a key factor. This ability allows Luffy to predict Kizaru's attacks and movements, helping him dodge or defend in time even if he can't match the speed. Advanced Armament Haki, Ryuo, allows Luffy to attack Kizaru, being a Logia user, and inflict internal damage, potentially more effective than regular Armament Haki. That Advanced Conqueror's Haki, Conqueror's Coding. This is a massive power upgrade for Luffy after Wano. Coding attacks, especially in Gear 4 with Conqueror's Haki, enhances their power to a new level, strong enough to seriously injure Admiral or Yonko level opponents. A Gear 4 Snake Man attack coded with Conqueror's Haki could be a real threat to Kizaru. Gear 4 Snake Man. This form focuses on attack speed and unpredictable trajectories. And thanks to Culverin. Combined with Advanced Observation Haki, Snake Man is Luffy's best option, besides Gear 5, to try and land hits on Kizaru. Conclusion: before the Wano arc, Luffy had almost no chance against Kizaru without Gear 5. Remember the encounter at Sabaody after the Wano arc, but without using Gear 5. Thanks to mastering all three types of Haki at the highest level, especially Future Sight Observation and Conqueror's Coding, Luffy could fight Kizaru. He could dodge attacks by predicting the future and deal significant damage with Conqueror's coded attacks in Gear 4. However, Kizaru still holds a significant advantage in speed and long-range attacks with his laser beams. The stamina limit issue of Gear 4 is very serious in a prolonged battle against an Admiral. Therefore, Luffy, without Gear 5, could hold his own, cause trouble, and even injure Kizaru thanks to his advanced Haki. But completely defeating Kizaru would be nearly impossible. Gear 5 is the factor that breaks the limits of speed and stamina, providing the freedom and power needed to fight Kizaru on equal footing and gain the upper hand. Why is Gear 5 currently considered stronger than Kizaru? Currently, Gear 5 Luffy is considered stronger than Kizaru mainly for the following reasons. Reality warping ability. Gear 5 allows Luffy to fight with cartoon logic, breaking the laws of physics. This ability makes Luffy's actions unpredictable and difficult for Kizaru, who relies on speed and precision. This cartoonish chaos mitigates the advantage of Kizaru's light speed. Enhanced Haki. Gear 5 allows Luffy to simultaneously use both armament and Conqueror's Haki, significantly amplifying the power of his attacks. More importantly, armament. Haki can touch and damage Logia users like Kizaru, regardless of his ability to turn into light. Unpredictability and chaos. The Gear 5 state is described as unpredictable, explosive, and chaotic. Luffy's creative and bizarre fighting style poses difficulties for Kizaru's calculated light-based attacks, resilience, and recovery. Luffy has the ability to recover quickly from injuries in Gear 5 state, making him more durable in prolonged battles. In summary, although Kizaru possesses formidable light speed and low gear powers, Gear 5's reality bending freedom, powerful Haki, and resilience give Luffy the edge in their current confrontation. Luffy's power growth has allowed him to effectively counter Kizaru's speed and intangibility, advantages he lacked in their first encounter. Even so, it sometimes feels like Luffy is still somewhat outmatched by Kizaru. You have a point. and the feeling that Luffy is still somewhat outmatched is a common observation among many viewers Toryut readers at certain points during the Gear 5 Luffy vs Kizaru confrontation. There are a few reasons why this feeling arises. Kizaru's evasion and speed. Kizaru is extremely fast and hard to pin down. He frequently uses light speed to dodge, reposition, or attack from a distance. This creates the impression that Kizaru is controlling the distance and isn't completely overwhelmed by Luffy in terms of movement. Luffy has to react to Kizaru's speed more often than Kizaru has to react to Luffy's speed. Kizaru's attitude and objectives. Kizaru often appears nonchalant, not entirely serious, and seems to prioritize his mission, assassinating Vegapunk, over defeating Luffy at all costs. This makes viewers feel that Kizaru isn't going all out or doesn't consider Luffy the biggest threat at that moment. He has internal conflict and isn't fully focused on taking Luffy down. Kizaru's temporary durability. Although Luffy has landed very powerful hits like White Star Gun, Kizaru could still get back up, though clearly stunned and heavily damaged. His quick recovery or seeming unfazed after some initial attacks can create the impression that Luffy hasn't dealt enough decisive damage. The chaotic nature of Gear 5. The cartoonish playful fighting style of Gear 5 sometimes makes attacks look less impactful or serious compared to previous forms, despite their immense actual power. This can deceive the perception of the true effectiveness of the blows. Luffy's stamina limit. Gear 5 consumes a great deal of energy and has a clear time limit. Kizaru seems aware of this and might be trying to prolong the fight, waiting for Luffy to tire out. This is a genuine weakness for Luffy. However, considering the overall picture and the actual results, Luffy did knock Kizaru down. The White Star Gun attack temporarily incapacitated Kizaru, showing that Gear 5's power is sufficient to completely overwhelm Kizaru when a clean hit lands. Kizaru admitted difficulty. Kizaru himself had to acknowledge the difficulty of facing Gear 5 Luffy. Controlled the style of the fight. Luffy often dictated the bizarre pace, transforming the environment, forcing Kizaru to deal with illogical situations. Luffy's haki counters. Low GL. Kizaru's low gear defense is almost useless against Luffy's advanced armament and Conqueror's haki. Conclusion. The feeling of Luffy being somewhat outmatched primarily stems from Kizaru's elusive speed, his attitude and differing objectives, and Gear 5's stamina limit. Kizaru presents unique challenges that no every opponent can. However, in terms of pure power and decisive damage potential, Gear 5 Luffy has proven himself superior by being able to knock Kizaru down. The fight isn't just about power comparison, but also strategy, objectives, and endurance. And in those aspects, Kizaru still managed to create a certain balance or pose difficulties for Luffy.
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the later update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end and see you in the next video.